Alright guys, QI 15, it's a bonus phase 5. We planted expansion number 9 last round. The current project, we've been ahead on the supply side, so the current project is to upgrade cottages into villa, but instead of deleting the cottage, I've just been moving them into some temporary locations where eventually we'll end up with a farm. But if we're ahead on the supply side, we don't need the farm right now. Let's just keep upgrading housing and keep the current coin production that we have as well. I left the goods building planted because I was originally going to get expansion number 10 on this collection. I think I'm just going to focus on continuing to upgrade houses and then plant farm number 3. Full happiness, we've got a little to spare, but we also have a lot of extra houses that we normally wouldn't have. So once we delete those, that should be pretty easy to work with. Full happiness, so let's just do the collection. We started off with 90 of each, so about 400 on the coin, and then 380 on the supply. So this is a good day to plant farm number 3. Let's get rid of some of these houses, or those are going to go. Cottages, let's move for now. We're probably going to have to delete some of them, but let's just move them. Let's see. Now that we're planting a farm, this road needs to go now. We're late enough in the game where I don't think we're going to be needing a whole lot of extra roads. I did keep 1, 2, 3, 4 off to this side. Let's just delete these other ones. I don't think we're going to need more than 4 temporary roads. Done with a couple of these cottages. Troops are holding up pretty well, but I am going to do ballista this round. Let's grab a couple archers before we get the farm. We could actually plant 2 farms this round. Nice thing about focusing on the surplus of coin is that it is pretty easy to plant a farm now without depleting all of our resources. We're still going to have plenty left over. We have enough happiness to replace actually 9 cottages. We wouldn't have the resources to do that, but we have the happiness to replace 9 with villa. Let's do the 3, well, let's do 2, because we want some ballista as well. So we'll do 2 more cottages this round. Plenty left over for a few cycles of ballista. They're holding up pretty well, so it's not a huge need, but losing 1 pretty consistently every fight. I'll run out of actions before I run out of ballista, but just in anticipation. Yeah, it's not bad. No reason to rush the ballista camp. I'm just going to let it cook, and then after I print ballista, I'm going to plant a goods building and just let it cook so that it's ready for phase 16. Get the extra expansion, and same thing we just did, repurpose some of these cottage houses on that extra expansion. Instead of deleting them, just relocate them so that we can continue planting villa, and then eventually replace that last group of cottages with another arch to sustain the rest of our villas. Make sense? Once all of our production timers synchronize, we'll be getting just over 411 in supplies, and then 385 coin. So we're ahead on the supply side again, but pretty balanced at this point. Definitely enough resources to buy this next expansion. I think that's 310 goods. Would use up most of our coin, but we're going to have a surplus left over after we run ballista, because we're limited on the supply side for ballista this round. So we should have enough coin left over to comfortably get expansion number 10, and then use the remaining resources. So we'll have roughly 100,000 supplies left over to either do another arch or swap out another villa. I don't think we'll need the arch. I think we're going to be good on happiness for a while. After these 2 villa cook, we'll be down to 700 happiness, which is still plenty to work with. So pretty simple. This video is short. All the heavy lifting that we did was in phase 8 and phase 10. Those were complicated, but if you watch them, all of this will make sense to you now. It's just exponential growth, and all the tedious stuff, it takes a while to get some momentum in my system. It does take some time to get momentum, but you also don't need to necessarily rush that momentum because you're on difficulty 1 in the map, and there's like the map is not compelling you to grow your city faster, so it's okay to start slow. And then by the end of the map, once these levels start getting more and more difficult, your city is growing exponentially fast enough to keep up with the map, but fast enough to even gain additional momentum beyond that, to the point where we can plant a farm, 2 villas, and then how many? That'll be 4 repetitions of Ballista. That's a pretty healthy collection. Eventually, I am going to be done with this Ballista camp, and this will become farm number 4, right here, eventually. Troops are still holding up pretty well on the map, so really no rush to plant victory towers currently, but we do have space for an aqueduct right here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 towers currently. There's some empty space over here, but we're still rearranging that every cycle for now. Eventually, once we put a farm in there, I'll just fill up the empty space with some more victory towers, and then after expansion number 10, we'll have a couple more empty spaces for towers in here. No rush to do that right now, and it competes with our happiness that we need to keep going on villa, so not a huge rush. It depends on your city stats though. At this point, if you are struggling in the map, which would be understandable, we're on difficulty 8. If you are struggling in the map, this would be a good opportunity to use some of your additional happiness, but route it to victory towers instead of continuing to upgrade housing. The 385,000 coin that we'll be getting from this is more than enough coin to keep going on ballistas and stuff like that. So just use the extra resources to plant the victory towers if you need them at this point. So that's a wrap. This is Thursday morning, like I said, so exactly 1 week from opening. I'm going to use Thursday evening collection to do this last expansion, like I said. But then from that point, I'll have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday morning to just take all the resources that I'm getting from the city, probably upgrade a few more villa, but for the most part, just take all those resources, print a bunch of troops, ton of victory towers, and just smash on the map. Make sense? If you get to the point where you can't fight anymore, we'll have the ability to run around 500 goods at collection, and then just donate your goods or your coin and supply resources on those donation nodes. That's an option too. But either way, you'll be able to be pretty successful on the map. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I may not record phase 16. It's pretty obvious we're just going to buy a ton of goods and 1 house. I may not record that, but we'll see. Talk to you later guys. Bye.